But in September of 2022, a bunch of world events leaked, and buried in that list were two details that stood out: a car fence and an art fence. Now, you might be picturing an actual fence, not that kind of fence, not a white picket fence. A fence is a middleman, basically. You steal something, you offload it to the fence, and they handle moving it on to a buyer. Red Dead Redemption 2 already does this, so this is the perfect comparison. Red Dead obviously doesn't have cars, so what's the closest thing? A horse, right? If Red Dead 2 worked just like GTA 5, you'd steal a horse and just sell it to the stables. But that's not what happens. Instead, there's a dedicated vendor called a horse fence. And it's the same thing with stagecoaches. You steal one and there's a specific stagecoach fence who's the only person that'll take it off your hands. So it looks like the days of running to the nearest LS Customs for a quick buck might be. You steal cars is most likely changing too, which is kind of nuts because this mechanic has stayed basically the same across the entire franchise. In GTA 5, you yank someone out of their car and you drive off. For parked cars, you just smash the window, you hotwire it automatically, and that's it. But again, assuming that Rockstar hasn't changed how this worked in the 2022 leaks, this system yet again is going to be changing, because in the leaks we learned of 2 items specifically tied to car theft: an immobilizer bypass and a slim gin. The immobilizer bypass looks like it's for the higher end vehicles, the newer ones, and a slim gin seems like it's going to be for older cars. From what the leaked events list showed, this is shaping to be some kind of quick little mini game where you use the tool to steal the car. I don't expect it to be tough. I mean, you usually want to steal a car pretty quickly, right? But the interesting part is you can actually fail them. Walking into somewhere like Cluck and Bell and ordering food was a fan favorite in older games. And if you did happen to catch those 2022 leaks, I'm not going to tell you where to find them, but they are still on the internet. You'll remember the Hank's Waffle Diner robbery with Jason and Lucia. That clip confirmed that these restaurants and fast food joints are going to be back, and we'll be able to walk inside, order whatever you want, and naturally rob the place if we want to. That slides nicely into the next feature, and that's the upgraded robberies. And there's a full NPC interaction system exactly like Red Dead Redemption 2. In Red Dead, you can walk up to people, antagonize them, threaten them, and rob NPCs if you want. And you'll be doing all of that in GTA 6 as well. When Lucia points a gun at an NPC in the leak clip, you can see the options rob, threaten, and there's one more that we can't make out. There are 3 in total, but the third one's cut off. If you compare that to a GTA 5 store robbery, the difference is night and day, right? If we look at Red Dead 2, again, you have to interact with nearly everyone involved. Some hand over info, some you have to tie up, some you have to question and lean on or beat up, and all of that is coming to GTA 6. And as the robbery wraps up in that leaked clip, the cops show up, except they don't appear instantly anymore. That's another change. The police actually take time to get dispatched. What you're wearing and what you're driving actually affects how well the police can ID you and hunt you down. So if you're wearing a mask or cover your face, they won't know exactly who they're after. Now in GTA 6, Rockstar is taking this even further. When Jason and Lucia are driving away from the Hank's Waffle Diner, the moment Lucia gets spotted, a message pops up on the top of the screen saying the police have a full description of her. And that's because she's not covering her face and she's just out in the open. Then they hop into Jason's car and another prompt appears. It says, any vehicle you're seen entering becomes known to the law. Both of those are huge upgrades over GTA 5. If the cops never see which car you get into, they don't know what to look for. So if you're smart about it, cover your face, take out the witnesses, and the police might never actually identify. Again, we have to go back to the 2022 leaks to learn about this one. After Lucia drops one of the civilians in the Hank's Waffles robbery, you can see that she gets the option to either loot or pick up the body. So just like in Red Dead 2, it looks like we can loot every NPC, which is great, but being able to move bodies is the real game changer for stealth especially. Because if you play GTA 5 or GTA Online, you know stealth can be a bit of a nightmare sometimes. So being able to clean up and move bodies out of sight. But in one of the 2022 leaked clips, you can see Jason sneaking through what looks like a gang hideout. In fact, it actually could be one of the gang compounds that we learned about in the latest news drop, and he's using cars as cover, basically. A camera catches him though, but instead of every single gang member knowing exactly where he is like they would in GTA 5, instead, one of the enemies starts moving towards his last known location. So in theory, we're gonna have to see how this works out, but in theory, you can actually bait enemies into going where you want them. The GTA 5 system where one camera just gets a 24/7 tracker on you, that is so annoying and so unrealistic. So I'm really glad it's changing, and hopefully it means stealth is way more fun this time. You can haul around like 100 weapons, right? No idea where they do, but you can use your imagination to think where our character is hiding these weapons, and you can pull any of them out whenever you want. That looks like it's done in GTA 6. Instead, it looks like it's going to work pretty much the exact same as Red Dead Redemption 2. Not quite identical, but close. Now again, we're talking about the 2022 leaks yet again. In those leaks, we did get to have a look at the weapon wheel. Of course, it's a work in progress and not done yet, but this is what those fan recreations of the leaks look like. And honestly, it looks nearly identical to Red Dead's system. So here's how it works in Red Dead. You can't just stroll around with 100 weapons. Instead, you get your one-handed weapon, a pistol. You can also bring a melee weapon or throwables, and you can also only hold two-handed weapons at a time. In the latest batch of screenshots, we saw Jason and Lucia look completely different in every single photo. And because we saw so many different photos of them, this is the first time we got visual confirmation of one of the features everyone has been expecting for a long time, and that's the weight system. In several of these different screenshots, you can clearly see Jason in particular has different amounts of muscle mass. So this confirms something that we've kind of already known about, but it's good to see it in the flesh, and that's that your character will gain or lose muscle and gain or lose fat depending on what you eat and what you... From what we understand right now, the one car collection we know about is locked behind the Ultimate Edition for GTA 6, which I know a lot of people are upset about, but we're going to talk about it anyway, and that's Wyman's car collection. A lot of this was actually leaked in the 2022 leaked clips and game events as well, and it looks like it's taking inspiration from something like a Forza Horizon barn find, but a little bit more in depth. This one's more like a treasure hunt. So it seems like there's going to be classic car parts and collectibles across the map that Jason and Lucia are going to have to collect. It looks like we'll then have to bring those parts back to Wyman, and once we have all of the parts, Wyman will build the classic cars for us. We already saw what 5 of these cars are going to look like in the screenshots. As I said, we don't know if there's going to be more cars to collect for Wyman or if there's going to be other car collectors across the map that we can collect parts for. We'll have to wait and see. But even if it's just the one, I think this is awesome. This is long overdue for a GTA, and it's a pretty creative way to get new.